Hey guys, today we're looking at the scissors unit, yet another weapon set for the Xeno Rex. I'm going to unbox it, I'll show you how to add it to your Xeno Rex, and then we'll see if it still walks with all that extra bulk. Plus I've got lots of comparisons and part swaps for you guys to check out, so let's get started.
Robo Shop.
Alright, so let's talk box size first. Unsurprisingly, of course, given what's in this box is a fair bit bigger than the other weapons boxes. This is the box for the ignition booster, which is the same size as all the other boxes for the weapon sets. And as you can see here, the two are, well, the scissors unit is really, it comes in a box that's about twice as thick as the one for the ignition booster. Now, here on the front, we have a picture where basically like all of the standard Xeno Rex parts are grayed out. What's in full color, I assume, is what's in this box, which is these feet that are probably necessary to keep it walking, the big scissors backpack, of course, this thing that goes on the tail, a part to extend the tail, the horn here, and the new neck, of course. And also has these two pictures here that shows you that this, if it eats a big mushroom, morphs into this. On the side here, we have all the parts that are in the box. It also shows you the other two core drive weapons. Bunch of text here. Here we have a Xeno Rex with the scissors unit, and here with the buster cannons that are coming out soon. And this is the same picture as on the front. Here we have, without anything grayed out, we have a depiction of the Xeno Rex with the scissors parts. It shows you how they're posable, and also that you can put them on the burning lighter, so we're going to have to try that as well. Incidentally, this is not a core drive weapon. See here, it's I don't know if this is supposed to be pronounced X-Eva or Ziva. I'm just going to stick with scissors unit. But it's not core drive, which means it won't move once it's in place. But anyway, let's take a look at what's inside. Enough of that. And as usual, I'm realizing that I don't know how to knife things anymore. Here we go. We'll cut the box in the process. So we have instructions, and we have one big bag of parts, which we are going to open up right now. This is again the thick plastic. So are these bags, 1, 2. We have one bag of black parts, one bag of blue parts. Let's take a look at these first. Here's the feet. Okay, this seems to be the halves of the new neck, if I had to guess. The feet, absolutely massive. I really like how these are designed too, like these sort of angular armor plates and a little wing on top here. Looks really cool. This is the tail extension, no doubt. And this will probably go in the neck and make sure that the mouth still moves. Up next, we have all of the black parts. Let's do this a little faster than before. Let's see here. This is one of the big scissors pieces, of course. And I will say right here already, we'll do a comparison with the Genobreaker, of course, but a ton more detail than on the Genobreaker's shells, of course. Whether you like that or not is a different matter, but it does have a ton of detail, although also hollow on the inside. Again, I don't know how well you can see this because the part is black, but yeah, step up your game, Tucker, tell me. This is one of the blades, pegs on both sides, tons of detail, panel lines here. Not terribly visible on camera probably because these are black. We have, of course, 4 of these. This is the new tail fin, also hollow on the underside. Probably won't be a problem because the tail's going in here. Detail everywhere. This would looks to be the horn that goes on the nose. And then these parts are probably just, you know, the arms that everything attaches to. Now let's take a quick look at these two things here. We have, of course, the parts lists, also with instructions on how to pose things if you can't figure out how a peg works. This is just a complete parts list here. I'm more curious about the instructions, really, because I'm wondering how they start. Yeah, see here, this actually has instructions on how to take apart the Xeno Rex before you attach the new parts, which is good because it means you don't need the Xeno Rex instructions to do any of this. Finishes here on the back. Here it tells you how to turn it on and how to use the cockpit and stuff. And again, also that the scissors unit also fits on the blade, the blade lighter, the burning lighter. Yeah, and that's what's in the box, folks. I'm actually going to do assembly on camera now because I'm sure a lot of you want to see how this works. So we'll do a quick jump cut and then we'll get to that. All right, so here's one of my Xeno Rexes. I've already taken this back piece off, or basically left it off because it was off from when I was doing the photo session with all the weapons attached. If you already have a Xeno Rex, then you know this thing's kind of a pain in the butt to get off, so no point in putting it back on just so that I can show you guys how to take it off. So the instructions are telling me to take off this foot and of course attach the other one. Now, oh, I didn't need to take this peg off. And then it just says something or other that looks like, why do I keep taking this off? Something or other, that probably means do the same thing on the other side. There's actually no picture showing this, and I have to crank this off. Okay, something slightly scary just happened, but you won't see that because there's going to be a jump cut. That came off very suddenly. First, the feet are a pretty tight fit, which is good because, you know, you want these to stay in place. All right, so that's the new feet. What's next? We take off the tip of the tail. Just the tip, though. Sorry, could not resist. The second I said the tip, I knew I was going to say it, so. Now, this goes here. I will say, before I say anything else, I do not understand why this is a different color from the rest. Also, I think I was missing a peg on the bottom here. Luckily, I've still got some Xeno Rex pegs lying around here. Okay, so the tail is about 30% longer this way. Now we put the big fat tail fin on, which hooks onto, like that, okay. Hooks onto these two smaller pegs here, which means you can, oh no, that's just how you attach it. I was wondering if you could swing it up and down, but you can't. Now, the head comes off like this. I didn't show this because I didn't do assembly in the Xeno Rex review, but the head is actually just attached with this peg here, which is pretty neat. Now we know why, because you actually attach the neck extension simply by pegging it on there. Sorry, I cheated and looked ahead in the instructions. Now what I'm supposed to do is I am supposed to take this lever piece and attach it to this somehow, preferably without making an ass of myself. Let me make sure that I'm looking at the right piece. I am, but probably on this small peg here. Yep, that's it. Now, the second half, make sure I do this in the middle here. Second half goes on like so, Okay, and then we have this here. Yeah, excuse the jump cut, but my phone just ran out of storage space in the middle of this. So yeah, what I was about to show you is that this is the neck extension. It has this lever piece here that drives the mouth movement. And it attaches by simply pegging it on here where the head used to peg on. Like so. And that's it. And this is, I have to say, I'm really relieved to find this, because I kind of expected that we would have to take the entire neck assembly apart here, which really means basically stripping the Zoid all the way down. But they made this as simple as possible. All you do is peg this on top here, and you're golden. Now, the next thing that happens is that we turn it into a Rhino, which means we put this on top of this armor piece here that basically holds the canopy in place. The point being that you can still open the canopy. Yeah, and then without the scissors unit, we've got ourselves this, which I have to say, with the extended neck and the longer tail and the bigger feet, this already looks much better. I'm not so sure about this horn here, but generally the proportions, you can actually see now why they made the head this big, because with the longer neck, it looks just about right. It's just too bad it looks way too big in standard mode. But anyway, let's put the scissors together. So the first thing we do is we take these blades here and we plug them in here, like thusly so. And we do this again. And that's the actual scissors units all done. And the arms, and you do this twice, are put together by putting this joint piece here, and this one goes here. And here I've already got this one on, or basically I couldn't get it back off. So here's how we put these together. Now, excuse me while I flip over the instructions and realize that yes, I do in fact need to have the back armor in place in order to attach all this. Don't know why I'm surprised by that, but anyway, it goes on like this. And then we take these two, which are identical, and they plug onto these two pegs here, like this. And one scissor arm, hold on a second, let me make sure I get this right. One scissor arm. If you're wondering about the jump cut, it's because I had to rotate this, by the way, and I can tell you it's super tight. You're going to want to make sure you have these plugged in the way you actually want them to be plugged in. So this is supposed to go forward like this. Boom. And same thing on the other side. Now watch as I find out that, yeah, this one also needs to be rotated. This one's actually not as tight as the other one. Weird. I don't know. That must have been the one that actually clicked in place when I put it together, which you didn't see because it didn't record. But anyway, this goes on like this. And then, of course, we put the scissors units on like so. And I would say we rotate them downward a little, maybe like that. Okay, yeah, that looks about right. Well, and here is the Xeno Rex with the scissors unit attached. Yeah, I'm gonna end this one here because obviously now we want to see if it still walks like this, right? And it absolutely still does, so those new feet are doing their job just fine. Not only does it walk, but if you remember how the Genobreaker walked, it also definitely walks better than that one. My favorite part though might actually be the way the tail swings more than in standard mode, because there's an additional joint and the tail fin is creating some extra momentum. The mouth movement also seems to work better. So far so good, eh? Posability is a bit less impressive, I'm afraid. I mean, you can do this with the blades pointed forward, or you can have them in the back for a more balanced look, but to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of either pose. To me, it actually looks best with the blades tucked in like this, which is kind of a shame. Here's the inevitable comparison with the Genobreaker, and I'm gonna say the surprising part is that the two look almost the same height-wise, although of course the Breaker is a lot bulkier. Also, in case you wanted to see it, here's the Burning Liger with the scissors unit mounted on it, though I don't know why you'd slap a Republic weapon on an Empire Zoid. It doesn't look all that great either. Honestly, my favorite weapon for this one is still by far the Gatling, but you can do this, you just need to use the back armor from the Xeno Rex, which fits perfectly of course. Generally speaking though, my favorite thing about this set is what it does for the proportions of the Xeno Rex. Here it is with the scissors parts removed. And here's a quick comparison to the vanilla Xeno Rex. It's really kind of crazy how much better everything about this Zoid works with the extension pieces in place. I mean, look at this. The standard Rex looks like a baby version by comparison. Anyway, while I'm doing part swaps, here's what it looks like with the extension pieces and the ignition booster. Also pretty cool and also an improvement because the booster looks a lot more compact now. And here's my favorite setup that I've come up with the impact Gatling and a few of the guns from the combat unit. I'm really happy with this and I'll definitely display it in this configuration. So, in conclusion, I'm mostly just happy about the improved proportions. The scissors parts themselves are really not that impressive because of how you pose them and because of their hollow insides, and I'm also not a fan of the nose horn. It just looks to me like they wanted that to be there because the Breaker has one, but I think even if it wasn't a different color, it would look really tacked on, like it doesn't quite fit where it goes. Which brings me to my other problem with this unit, and that's the collars. Like I said in the unboxing, I really don't understand why they couldn't just make the extension pieces match the rest of the Zoid. It's not jarring or anything, but it would definitely look better if it was all the same shade of blue. Having said that though, it's not a deal breaker, and I'll eventually just paint this all the same color anyway. The bottom line is that this set is worth it just for what it does for the proportions alone, and it also just works really well, both in terms of how you add the parts to the Zoid and how they made sure it would still be balanced enough to walk properly, and it actually kind of improves the Zoid's movement, which is pretty amazing. Honestly, I recommend you get this for the Xeno Rex even if you don't like the scissors. Well, and that's it for this one, folks. I already have the Scissors XA version of the Rex, but after cramming entirely too much into the last video, I decided to split these up into two separate reviews. So I'll show you guys that one next weekend, hopefully. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. And if you find these reviews useful and you'd like to support me, I have Patreon and PayPal links in the description below. But if you're not concerned about my ability to buy groceries after I'm done with my monthly Zoids purchases, just hitting the like button for this video already helps me out a lot, so if you can just do that, that'd be awesome too. In the meantime, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.